Mistakes people make on their hunting land. We're going to name a few mistakes that people make this time of the year on their hunting land that will actually hurt their hunting while they're trying to improve it. So here's a few mistakes. One habitat mistake is putting things where they shouldn't be. Like I usually park over here in this field during hunting season, and I walk right through here and I go down to a tree stand down below. Well, we planted these apple trees here. When we first bought this land, I'm not sure why we planted them here. We just decided to plant apple trees all over the place just to draw more deer in. Well, when I'm hunting in this tree stand down here, I don't need to be walking in and spooking them off before I even hardly get into the woods. So these trees are going to have to be moved. They haven't been bothering us so far because every year here in Wisconsin, it's been warming up where they bud and then they freeze right off, so they haven't been doing anything anyway. But this is a special kind of tree that produced apples in its first year. They will produce apples right away. It's actually impressive. I've never seen like that before. It's something that my wife found. But these are going to have to be moved, and it's anything like that. You don't need to be walking by anything that's going to be attracting deer to it and spooking them up before you even get to your tree stand. So that's one habitat mistake. Another management mistake is not putting in alternate travel corridors. We did do a video on this a while back because we used to walk the trail, the same trail that the deer use, and we'd go to this ground blind. Well, now we walk because there's a road over here. Instead of taking the same trail, I'll actually walk the road and come straight on in, not spooking anything, and nothing's even knowing that I'm coming in here. So go back and check that video out. But that's another one big mistake. Now this one actually surprises me how much people actually do this. But the people will take in either their bait piles or their food plots or whatever they're doing to attract the deer to that area, they'll put their game camera, in an area where they got to walk through that place, walk through the food plot to either get to their tree stand or their camera, and leaving their scent all over the place. That might work for does. They're going to get curious and they'll follow your tracks to wherever they're going. But a monster buck ain't going to do that. They're going to turn the other way. So your goal is to put your cameras or your tree stands or whatever you're trying to get to the edge where you don't leave any scent or anything on these food plots, and get in and out of there as stealthy as possible. Like I said, I'm really surprised at how many people don't think about that, but that's another mistake people do when deer hunting.
Another mistake is not going into your sanctuary. You never know what you need to clean up in there. Just beyond this point, there was a tree down across the trail, and it halted movement to this part of our land. So get in there at least once a year for trail and bedding improvements.
Another mistake is putting bedding areas in places where they shouldn't be. This is when we first started learning about habitat improvement. We did this a few years ago, and it's really in the wrong spot. We decided to put it on the border of the land where they have an ATV trail here, and our trail comes up this way. If we were doing work, because there's a small food plot right here, which we did abandon also, but this one, every time anyone came up here, we would spook the deer out of here, and they just totally abandoned it, so it was for nothing. So you want to put it in a secluded spot you want to keep some out in your sanctuaries, but some other places where nothing's going to get to it, nothing's going to really bother it. This is going to get cleaned up, and we're going to plant some stuff in here, put some trees and stuff for cover from the neighbors from their ATVs, because they will ride their ATVs during the middle of hunting season, and we just don't want the deer to see them. So we are going to put some trees here, and eventually it will be a nice cover area. But like I said, just keep your bedding where they need to be. So if you need to talk to somebody about where the best spot is for it, or really do your homework.
These are just a few mistakes that people make, and we made this video to help you steer clear of them. Till next time.
Be sure to subscribe to our page and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest to get more additional content.